Welcome to your weekly UAS news update, the place where you don't get your news 2 weeks late. This is the week of March 20th, 2022. We actually have 4 really cool stories this week, actually a bit more than that. But the first one is a big win for Texas drone pilots. There was a drone law that was struck down, and it's been on the books for a while, and it's an amazing thing, so we'll talk about that. We'll talk about a New York recreational pilot that was fined $15,000. This has been making its round around Facebook in the last couple days, and we'll talk about what happened. And then we'll have a multiple update here of things that we saw at the Texas robotic event that we just came back from. Drone Sense released something, Brink released something, and then Hotel has some updates as well. And then lastly, there is a cool event, the South Florida Drone Meetup, that's happening this weekend. We're actually a proud sponsor of the event, and we'll tell you more information about it. So let's get to it. And the first thing this week is amazing. This is the Texas Drone Law number 423 that has been on the books for a while, and it was ruled unconstitutional by a federal judge. The law was extremely restrictive on drone use and the distribution of images that were captured via drones. Essentially what they were saying is that you needed approval from someone to release drone pictures that you had taken of their property and a lot of different things. A group defending First Amendment rights for journalists got involved and went against this law. This has been going on for quite a long time. If you've been following us for a while, we reported on how they went against this law a long time ago, and it finally got struck down. So this is great news, especially for other states that are willing to try to do the same thing in their states. This will set a precedent, a good precedent for us, and this is something that we're pretty excited. We were in Texas actually when this happened a couple days ago, and this was the talk of the town. So we made this the first story this week. All right. Second story this week is also the talk of the town at the moment. This was released in a Drone Pro update that we received a couple days ago, and it's made its round on Facebook after VicMoss posted it in a couple places. And a drone pilot from New York was fined by the FAA for flying its drone over a bunch of people during a protest, and they were fined $15,000 last December. The drone pilot stated that they were actually operating under 44809, which is the recreational rule, but they actually did not meet the requirements. They were caught flying over people. They were caught flying. There's a laundry list of things that they did. The drone was not registered. They posed a hazard to people on the ground, aircraft, and property. They were flying at night without a waiver. That was prior to the new rule that had the rule for flying at night, where it's now allowed, but it wasn't at the time. Flying over people without a waiver, without the proper equipment, flying in controlled airspace without authorization, and also flying without the currency of knowledge. Now, you may think this person apparently, based on this information, had a remote pilot certificate, did not renew the remote pilot certificate, decided that they were going to fly under 44809, did not meet the requirements. And if you don't meet the requirements for 44809, it means that you're now under Part 107, which is the default set of rules. And because they didn't renew their Part 107 certificate or their currency, then now they are in violation of 10765. So all of that added up together was $15,000. I know a lot of people I've seen online saying, well, 15,000 seems to be pretty steep. Why is the FAA worried about people flying under recreational rules? You have to realize that if the FAA get to that level, it means that somebody did something really bad, okay? There are illegal flights that happen every day. We know this. People are even flying over people beyond visual line of sight, you name it. But if the FAA decides to do this, it means that the backstory is something really bad happened, okay? So this was not just out of the blue that decided to pick a random person and then apply, some violations and some fines. It says that the fine is due immediately. A lot of you have asked questions as well about this. Typically, the FAA will give you 30 days to do the payment, and then also they'll give you the ability to do a payment plan over time. But once you get a fine from a federal agency like this, you can say goodbye to a lot of things, including your tax returns if you ever have one. If you can't pay, they'll find a way to get that money. But anyway, this is kind of what we talk about a lot. Don't be that guy flying a drone and just doing stupid stuff. It will come back and bite you. Okay, the next story is a bunch of news that we got that were released at the Texas Public Safety Robot Summit that we just went to in Burnet, Texas. This was an amazing event. We actually have a video coming up where we're going to kind of talk to you about what we saw, the cool drones that we flew, a lot of different things. We actually were able to fly the brand new Matrice 30 from DJI. That was really exciting. We flew the Parrot NFE AI as well. We flew a bunch of drones, but we'll have a full recap coming up very soon. But there were three different releases that we wanted to talk to you about today. And the first one is Brink, which is partnering with Ecor, Ecor Robotics. They create ground robots. And if you've never seen ground robots that are used in the public safety world, it's really cool. It's these robots that have arms that have the ability to move around and allow public safety to do their job without being in the line of duty or without being in danger. Well, Brink, that creates FPV drones that can be flown inside, are partnering with Ecor so they can put their drone on the robot so they can enter inside of the room, release the drone, and then start flying inside. This was a big news that was released at the event that we were at, so we thought we would share with you. Another thing that was really cool that we saw is our friends at DroneSense created a remote drone operation system that is geared towards public safety to allow public safety operators to operate remotely a drone in order to respond to an emergency. And the idea here is that there would be a pilot in command located next to the drone that would be able to act as a visual observer while the person on the ground takes the control and has the ability to fly from a distance. And the way that they demonstrated this, which was extremely impressive, is they had a drone that was in Florida, and they were able to take control of this drone in Florida, take off, go complete a mission, all from Burnet, Texas, in the middle of nowhere, using Starlink satellites. So they were getting the feed from the drone with a 50 millisecond delay, which is extremely, extremely short. The image was surprisingly extremely clear. A little bit of delay every once in a while, but you had the ability to see everything that was going on, see the drone moving around, zooming in and out of different areas, and all of that being done from a controller on the ground in Burnet, Texas, controlling a drone all the way into Florida. So I was actually kind of speechless at first when that came up and the footage came up. We'll talk about that in our video. We'll show you some examples of how that happened, and you can see some of it playing in the background here. Just a really cool technology. Now, obviously, the FAA still has to give you approval for this. I'm sure you're wondering, how can this be possible? Because it doesn't meet the requirement for visual line of sight. So you'll have to get a waiver if you're a public safety agency in order to do this, and that's going to take some paperwork and proving to the FAA that you can do that safely. The other thing that was released was Hotel released a firmware update. For those of you that have a Nano or Light series drone, they added dynamic tracking of a video subject. Person at this stage, you can grab a person, do something around it for the Light Plus, and then follow them. 160 megabit per second video and image downloading from the drone to the phone using Wi-Fi. This is a cool tech if you are on the go and you want to get that footage quickly. And something that people have been asking for a while, which is the 8-bit log video. So you'll be able to do a log finally on these drones. HDR video is also going to be an option, and there's a bunch more enhancements and issues that were fixed with that update. I have to say, the Light that we have a Light Plus and we have a Nano Plus as well. The Light Plus has been quite amazing. The Nano Plus, I'm still on the fence. I think it still needs quite a bit of work. We still have quite a few bugs in the software, but the Light Plus has been pretty solid. I would compare it to something between and I hate to compare it to DJI, but a lot of you are familiar with it. Compare it to a DJI an Air 2S and a Mavic 2 Pro. Kind of in between these two, you have this drone that's extremely capable and priced right around that point. Okay, the last thing this week is our friends in Florida are having the South Florida Drone Meetup. This is Captain Ray Kelly and his team. This is happening this weekend, April 2nd, 2022, between 7 a.m. and 4 p.m. It's a free event. This is in Jensen Beach. They're going to be at the Jensen Beach Causeway Park. And this is a place where you can go and meet other drone pilots and fly your drones and learn new information. Unfortunately, I could not make the event. I just came back from Texas. I was actually in Texas the week before, so just a bit too much. But I know for those of you that are following that are going to be there, we are providing lanyards, so you can go out there. If you registered for the event, you'll get a lanyard from Pilot Institute. We're excited to sponsor events just like this. I know Captain Ray Kelly and his team, they do a lot of great things for the community, so we're more than happy to do this. And so please send your pictures if you attended. I'm sure it's going to be a great event, and then we'll definitely see you next year at the next event, because I'm sure there's going to be a lot more of these, and this is helping the community, so this is really cool. All right. This is all I have. I know this was kind of a bit of a long update, but there's a lot going on. There's a lot going on in the industry as spring comes in and the better weather comes in. There's a lot more products being released and a lot more news. So that's all I have. Like, subscribe, leave your comments, and we'll see you guys next week.